can see I am driving, so I'm not going to be looking at the camera all that much, but you get a candid view from my dashboard of what it looks like while I'm driving. And, probably you all wanted that. So, why should I withhold such footage from you? Anyways, um, here's the deal. I hope you're all doing very well. Over the weekend, I kind of announced something uh, that I'm pretty excited about. And any of you that know me, if like you really know me from events or from the marketing world, you know OMG and you know OMG Live. I was blessed to be any small part of OMG back in the day. For a long time, I was a guest coach. Wasn't really, like it wasn't my program or any of that kind of thing. In fact, at any iteration of OMG, it never was mine. Um, at this stage, I don't claim sole ownership of anything, but this particular event, I'm one of the co-hosts. So my partners, Joe Marfolio, Greg Morrison, of course, and Liz Herrera, those three obviously were part of the original OMG. And I've kind of earned my seat at the table, so to speak, to be able to be a co-host. And I'm excited because we've got sort of that old nostalgia plus some new blood, and we carved out some really cool things for everybody. But what I was most interested in going live for is, like, of course, I want you guys to come and hang out with us, and I want there to be a good reason for you to, beyond just seeing my fantastic face that you can see anytime on a random live stream. Man, I wish I was that full of myself. Like, if I was just that like completely in love with myself to just talk about how fantastic my face is all the time. Anyways, the real reason I kind of wanted to go live was, like, OMG Live for me was one of those events that really shifted things. I'd been doing marketing since 2008. It was 2014 or 15 that I went to this event and I started connecting with people. And those people happened to be serious players. And as I got more serious about what I was doing, it became clear that we should work together and at a deeper level. I'd already been working with Stephen Floyd a little bit before that, just contributing to his group, but it really amplified once I got to OMG Live. So, fast forward a number of years, I've got, a number of companies, and, we've done a whole bunch of really great things. And a big part of it has been my journey since that day, right? Of understanding more things about events and people and business and all of those things, really supercharged at that event. So I kind of wanted to invite you to share some of your memories with OMG Live, just in general, with me, just in the comments below. Kind of what you loved about it, what difference it made for you. And I'm going to tell you kind of the most impactful thing that happened. There's so many, it's kind of hard to just like pick one, but one of the most impactful things that happened with OMG Live for me was that very first one I went to. I had it was sort of like the first time that I went out on my own on a trip, like flying by myself, like renting my own car and doing all of the stuff, which, maybe I was a little old for that to be my first time. I had flown plenty of places before. I was always with other people, right, that had experience and whatnot. This was just my first like solo trip to an event that I didn't know anybody. Like, I knew some names from the group, and, obviously I knew who the coaches were and whatnot, but I just kind of like went, I got to be there, and I don't know why. And I showed up, did the whole event. It was amazing. All of the great stuff that people talk about with events. I met a whole bunch of cool people. I got to, meet more of the coaches and hang out a little bit. I got to like really engage at a different level. And the thing that happened to me actually happened right after the event. If you guys have been to these events, it's kind of a whirlwind. Like, you're talking to people, you're hanging out. Of course, I'm doing magic, and I'm just whatever I know how to do to connect with people and be worthy of being in the room, right? And when it's all over, there's this like high that you come down off of because it's so engaging. And I was actually so inspired and sad at the same time that the event ended because I was having such a great time. That part of me was literally like torn, to the extent that I got in my rental car, which was this little jelly bean of a car, and driving from Franklin, Tennessee to Nashville Airport. My flight leaves in like an hour and 10 minutes or something, and it's like a 30-minute ride. Traffic, I didn't account for traffic, so I was like stressing out the whole way. But in the midst of all of that, I was bawling my eyes out because I realized that I had, one, found a place to call home in the digital space. I found like my own group of geeks, right? And not that I'd never found that before, but it's like this was a group and they were all making money and they were all doing cool things and they were super cool people. And it was just like, holy crap, this exists. This is real. And then at the same time, I was like, but I have to leave because it's over. And it was this weird emotional time because there was so much input and so many things to take in. And there was all of this heightened everything. And I'm rushing to get to my flight, that it just like I broke down on like, wow, this is something different. This means something, right? And that's probably the most impactful moment I had because I knew I would never turn back. I knew that there was no other path for me than forward, and I didn't have to question what I was doing. I wasn't sitting there going, well, listen, you have to understand, I bought this thing from this guy on the internet, and he says if I do what they do, that I can make some money, right? Like, I didn't have to justify in my own head. Luckily, I didn't have, any close family that was questioning me in any way, but like, I didn't have to justify to them, even though like, I know how it could look, right? Listen, there's these guys on the internet. Turns out they're real people and they're really cool to hang out with, and you learn a lot from them, and you get to engage a lot and do a lot. So that was what really like set it all like made it concrete for me to go forward doing what I'm doing. And fast forward to today, I can't even, I would have never expected that I get to do what I do with the people I get to do it with and get to operate in the way that I operate. So many, many, many good things came from that, and that emotional experience made all the difference. And this is the thing that's hard to get from behind a computer screen. Like even right now, if you're watching this live, if you're still on after almost 8 minutes, it's going to be hard for you to have an emotional impact just because there's so much other noise going on. You've got to focus for your day and you're not immersed in it. I get it. It's like, that's how it is, right? When you go to one of these events, you get immersed. You are swimming in goodness. You're swimming in the consciousness of high performance and high profits and goodwill and understanding building business through service and building business through relationship and these things that are not money grubbing, underhanded, whatever stuff. That's all sensationalized garbage. That's not how real business owners operate. Some of them do, for sure. But like most business owners, especially ones that have been around for a while, operate with a degree of integrity. And it's really refreshing to see how important that is to people and get in a room where service matters, right? When you're immersed in that, when that's the consciousness you're swimming in, not just viewing from the shore, it's an entirely different thing. And that's why I'm so excited about it. Of course, I'm going to invite you to come and have that same experience, right? I'm going to come and invite you to join us in that. It's coming up a little bit fast, so you got to make quick decisions. We're running an early bird special. There's 1 or 2 days left on that, maybe 3 days max. I haven't looked at where the countdown timer is. But that early bird is going to get you in really inexpensively for a ticket. Grab your hotel. We got a hotel block that's got a discount. And listen, guys, we're in Cocoa Beach, Florida. There's a reason that we did it down here. I say down here. I'm actually in northern Michigan right now. Down in Florida, particularly Cocoa Beach, is because we're right on the ocean. We're right next to the Kennedy Space Center. The last event that we did down there, we literally watched, the last day of the event, we watched a space shuttle launch into space. Out on the beach at 1 o'clock in the morning. It was phenomenal, right? Like you can't, like we can't even plan for those things. But like being in Florida on the beach, we're on a hotel that's right on the beach. We've got the pool, the whole Florida experience, right? And it's just a great place to be. The energy there is perfect. You're not stuck in some hotel in Orlando. I'm in Orlando a lot. I'll be back in Orlando this Tuesday, flying out literally tomorrow. There's a lot of great things that happen there, but it's a different place, right? Being in the city is very different than being on the beach. So setting matters to me in that case. So to all of us. So we did it down there. Come on down, have a good time with us. And if nothing else, do me a favor, just because I think it's such an important thing to me. I'd love to hear your stories on what was so impactful if you've been to an OMG live or you were exposed to a community like OMG or any of that sort of stuff, just to relive some nostalgia. I'm not a high pressure sales guy, and I value relationships beyond transactions always. So if nothing else, connect over a cool OMG story. I appreciate you. Hop off here. I'm almost to where I need to be. I'll look forward to seeing you in Cocoa Beach, November 3rd through the 5th. I will, as soon as I'm done driving, drop. But if you search on my social media, you can just go a couple posts back. You'll see where I dropped the video and the link, all that sort of stuff. See you in Florida.